We saw yesterday the disciple admitting to his Sadguru, Gurudev, by your grace, I have clearly understood, rather convinced regarding the principle of doership of karmas and receiver of the fruits of karmas. I have understood a little deeper feeling, convinced. There is a firm conviction within me regarding the doer and the receiver of karmas. The soul being the doer and receivers of karmas. Now he goes back, his thought processes go back to the everlastingness or the eternal nature of the soul. The soul exists, beginningless, endless, eternal. So owing to its eternity, he's saying, I understand doer of karmas, then they ripen, give fruits, you receive, you react, meaning you do, you acquire, and this cycle continues. Till when? From when? From when? So he's saying the soul is eternal, so there is no beginning. So beginningless. So this cycle is beginningless. The soul is always going to remain endless. So this cycle is also endless. Why this doubt regarding liberation? I'm explaining why the doubt regarding liberation, because the principle is so wonderfully understood and linked with the second pad, eternity. So if it is beginningless, endless, so the cycle of acquiring and receiving or enduring, acquiring and enduring is beginningless, is going to be endless. So in no point of time is the soul seen karmaless, devoid of karmas. Liberation, by its dictionary meaning, devoid of flaws, devoid of karmas, we can say philosophically. Devoid of karmas, absolute freedom from karmas. Absolute freedom from karmas is liberation. This cycle, due to the eternity of the soul, is going to be endless. Thus, therefore, one cannot even visualize the concept of liberation. Infinite time has passed. Even today, till date, the flaws remain, meaning the causes of bondage remain. So, acquiring karmas, which will surely give its fruits, and the soul has to receive. Fourth pad. So, infinite time has passed even today, and this cycle will remain in future, continue forever, or you can say till infinity. So, the very notion of liberation is questioned. And if at all there is liberation, then what is the cause of liberation? What is the path of liberation? What are the means of liberation? That will be discussed in the sixth part. So in verse 87, this was explained, Vartamana Chedos. And a Karta Bhukta, since infinite time, present, and so it will continue. And in the next verse, say verse 88, supported by logic, choices between good karmas and bad karmas. Bad સારું નહીં લાગે તો evil karmas રાખો. તો તમારા બધી bad ને sick ને બધી ભાષા અલગ છે. So good karmas and evil karmas say. If you do good, what are you going to get? It's the good karmas are finally going to lead you to, I'm not saying the whole process. So the good karmas are finally going to lead you to heaven, Devlok, etc., meaning Manushya. Dev, Manushya, and the videos were saying even some Tiryansh. So basically, happy life, luxurious life, comfortable life, avail all the worldly pleasures, etc. Right? And the bad karmas or the evil karmas will eventually lead to hell, etc., meaning Tiryansh and Narak. So which is Uttam Gati according to you? In these four, which is Uttam Gati? In these four, I'm not talking of moksha because it's not yet established. In these four states of existence, Dev, Manushya, Tiryansh, Narak, which is called the Uttam Gati. I'm asking you why. Why am I asking you? Because Param Krupalu Deve અંત સમય કીધું આ આત્મા વિશેષ ઉત્તમ ગતિ પામવાનો છે. 2:30 in the night or in the evening? Either ચૈત્રવદ ચોથના ઇવનિંગમાં, I'm forgetting ક્યારે કીધું કે નિશ્ચિંત રહેજો, ભાઈનું સમાધિ મરણ છે અને અવશ્ય વિશેષ ઉત્તમ ગતિ પામવાનો છે. Clearly mentioned, I'm not going to go to moksha, clearly mentioned, and scriptures also support it. Clearly mentioned, Uttam Gati પામવાનો છે. So now what is Uttam Gati according to you? Because એટલે તો controversy છે. So are you going to સૌથી દુર્લભ ગતિ કઈ? ઉત્તમ ગતિ કઈ? ઉત્તમ ગતિ કઈ? No. From the worldly point, Uttam Gati is there because there is no suffering in that existence. So from the worldly point, Dev Gati is Uttam. From the spiritual point, Manushya Gati is Uttam. And now you have to decide કે પરમ કૃપાળુ દેવે કઈ એંગલથી જવાબ આપ્યો હશે. If it's Uttam Gati means Manushya, then it surely means Mahavidesh Kshetra and Manushya Bhava. And if it means Uttam Gati means Devlok, then higher Devlok, say Vaimanik Dev, not Bhavanpati or Vyantarayat, Vaimanik Dev. So I don't want to answer. Uttam Gati, from the worldly point, because Manushya Gati is a package of comforts and discomforts. જરા ગેસ થઈ જાય ને તો 5 વખત 1 મિનિટમાં 5 વખત અને 10 જણને કેસ આજે ઠીક નથી, આજે જરા શ્વાસ નથી લેવાતો, આજે આ નથી. So this discomfort, mixed feelings, no? It is said in the scriptures, a soul has gone twice the time to heaven than hell. Twice the time to heaven and then hell. મનુષ્ય ગતિ એને ઓછામાં ઓછી વાર મળી છે. દેવ નારકી એને ઘણી વખત મળી છે. એમાં પણ દેવ ગતિ ડબલ than that of hell. એકદમ generalized સિદ્ધાંત છે. And Tiryansh તો innumerable. So moksha purusharth માટે obviously manusya gati and comforts and sukh ni drishti dev gati. So nothing relevant here, but મને યાદ આવ્યું તો કહી દીધું મેં. વિશેષ ઉત્તમ ગતિ, વિશેષ ઉત્તમ બે શબ્દ લગાવ્યા, હવે બુદ્ધિ ચલાવતા રહી. તો કે yeah, but my belief should get supported by the scriptures too. Jeev, the soul, is never found without karma in any state of existence. These four states also he believes, I think, because of the influence of some scriptures, because Devlok and Narak we cannot see. Manushya, Tiryansh we can see. We can see human life, we can see human existence, we can see animals, we can see plants. So animal, plants both come in Tiryansh. Dev and Narki, fourth era you could see. How you would see planes in the sky, you could see Dev Viman. You could identify this Dev has come for darshan. But not at least in the fifth era. હવે એર ટેક્સીસ ને બધું સ્ટાર્ટ થાય છે ને કંઈક હશે, તો આવી રીતે જ ચોથા આરામાં એવી રીતે દેવ વિમાનો દેખાય. ચોથા દેવલોકના દેવો આવ્યા છે, બીજા દેવલોકના દેવો આવ્યા છે. So these four states of existence, and he checks it all. He doesn't find the soul without karmas. The fact that they are in one of these four means they are enduring some consequences of some karmas. So at least the karmas are operative, and because of ignorance and delusion, it's going to react to it. So it will acquire. So he knows nowhere, no time did he see any soul karmaless. That was the second argument. And moksha is a state of soul which is karmaless. He does not see it, he cannot even visualize it. So to him it appears there is nothing like moksha, there is nothing like liberation, there is nothing like state of liberation. I would not like to use the word existence of liberation. Because what do you mean exactly, existence of liberation? A geographical place or a state? So I am using the word state of liberation, where there is total freedom of karmas, no dravya karma also, and now you have understood something else. No bhav karma also, so no vibhavs and no karmic matter, particles bound to it, nothing, no dravya karmas also. So why do I differentiate? No karmas, karma-less state. So moksha is karma-less state. In no state of existence is a soul found karma-less. Therefore, instead of concluding not attained till date, he concludes there is no moksha. There is no. And you know the influence of different philosophies we discussed very, very briefly yesterday. Some believe in heaven as the ultimate goal. Some believe in the proximity of God as, if at all you want to believe in liberation, there is no antraya and no viraha. That is moksha. How much ever it is appealing to you, it's not the truth. Because we are studying Jain philosophy. There is a state higher than this also. This is a wonderful state. But it is not the ultimate state. You are weak, you need ICU. You are weak, you need a hospital. You are weak, you need a clinic. But if you are not weak, you do not need anything. So we are talking about Jain philosophy. So proximity of God, who would not wish? Wish. So wish is good karmas. Bound. Bondage. A desire, bhav karma. Proximity, dravya karma, uday. So again, it comes in the third and fourth pad. It won't come in the fifth pad. So as third and fourth, you have desired something very nice. You didn't desire a wonderful car, but you desired proximity with your guru. So good. But the worthiness comes from matra moksha abhilash. It's not said matra seva abhilash, matra satsang abhilash. All this finally will lead you to that desire and the only desire of liberation. Because the more you stay in the proximity, you will realize that still you cannot overcome your instincts totally. You can't overcome in his presence. You can see more, growth, lust, anger, ego. That is the time you will desire for liberation and not proximity. Now you don't realize that. You feel એમની પાસે રહેશું ને તો અલ્ટિમેટ સુખ છે, પણ પાસે રહીને પણ જ્યારે કામ, ક્રોધ, વિકારો જાગે, then you would want, I want to get free from these. So you want to be free from bhav karma, impure feelings. So bhav karma means dravya karma. So basically you want to be free from karmas. True? So you understood it clearly. Though it is an auspicious feeling, which will help you to overcome the inauspicious feelings, but still it is not the ultimate path to liberation. Terminus nathi, your station. Right? So you see the influence of so many philosophies where one says heaven is the ultimate goal, the other says proximity with God is liberation, because no antaray, you are liberated from antaray, vira forever. So liberation. Some say merging with the ultimate source. And you have different interpretations there. Keval Advait Vedant, Vishishta Advait Vedant, Dvait. Dvait will come in Bhakti, of course. And many. So, you have Buddhism then. What is liberation according to Buddhism? Extinction of the soul. So, whether Advait Vedant believes in extinction of individuality, or Buddhism believes in extinction of soul, at least Advait Vedant keeps Brahma alive. So merging is not the right word because everyone has different interpretations, but it comes in the same category where something exists but something extincts. So whether the soul dies or the soul does not, the individuality does not remain, because the Jain philosophy believes in individuality even in moksha. So right now the Guru has not started answering it, so I don't need to answer all this. But influence of all these philosophies, well educated and well read, and mastery to na kehvaye, pan well versed is the right word, well read. He is not finding any completely wrong, completely right also. Because of the diverse opinions, the soul sashvat pade rahe, and the soul dies. Jainism will say sashvat pade, the next verse. Siddha moksha sashvat pade. It will stay in this state eternally. One school of thought says the soul dies. One says the individuality dies. One says the individuality constantly remains with that permanence, pure, Ishwar, God. One says nothing like that, just comforts and luxuries, that also for a limited time, not forever. Then you start the whole cycle of evolution again. Why? Because somebody just wished that I am alone and I want to create the world and do. Because of his funny desire, we all suffer. And then put efforts. Like doing 2-3 ambles is quite a good effort. Why have we to do this? Because we have to get rid of karmas. And why was this karmas and me in this world? Because somebody desired. હું એકલો છું ને બહુ થાઉં. એના કરતાં सीधा सीधा ઈશ્વર વિડીયો ગેમ્સ રમતા હોત ને તો એટલીસ્ટ we wouldn't have to pass this whole ordeal. Why at all did he create? Of course, there are a lot of counter arguments and all. We are not going into the depth. I just want to show that the disciple here is confused. He is not finding any wrong. He finds કે આમાં બી કોઈક એંગલથી સાચું છે, but he cannot integrate, reconcile somewhere. So he humbly requests his Gurudev, his Sadguru, requests to clarify his doubts. And the Guru clarifies his doubts in 3 verses. 2 for the first one, and the third one for the second one. So in verse 87, the first argument, the disciple had expressed a doubt that if liberation of the soul was possible, then despite infinite time having passed by, why has it not attained liberation till date, even today? The Guru has given the solution to this doubt in 2 verses, 89 and 90. So this is verse 89. In this verse, the Guru proves the existence of liberation. And in the next verse, 90, the Guru explains why liberation has not been attained and what should be done to attain it. So, little bit of moksha upaya. If at all we are absent in moksha upaya, we'll get a gist there. The Guru says,
जेम शुभाशुभ कर्म पद जाण्या सफल प्रमाण तेम निवृत्ति सफलता माटे मोक्ष सुजान.
Jem, just as Shubha-Shubh karma pad, good and bad karmas, Shubh and Ashubh. Jem, just as Shubha-Shubh karma pad, good and bad karmas, Janya Safala Praman, we understood they bear fruits for the soul, the good ones and the bad ones. See, when we use the word karmas, only the bad thing you recollect. You only recollect the hinsa you did, the chori you did, the jhoot you did, the kashais you did, but not the shubhavs you did. So here it is very clear. Jem, just as Shubha-Shubh karma pad, Janya Safal Praman. So good and bad karmas bear fruits for the soul. Them, similarly, Nivrutti Safalata, the cessation of karmas, the stopping, stopping of these Shubha-Shubh bhavs is also fruitful. Doing is fruitful, so refraining from it, retreating from it, withdrawing from it, eliminating it is also fruitful. Doing is fruitful. I have not used the word not doing. Doing is fruitful. Then nivrutti shabda. Nivrutti, retiring, refraining, retreating, withdrawing, eliminating. All these 5 words will be asked in the quiz. Meaning will be very, very clear if you get all these 5 words. Anyone is Okay. But for the quiz, you'll need to say all 5. And they will answer you beautifully. Number 1, this. Number 2, this. Number 3, this. No, you have to memorize like this, but not speak like this. Then we realize that we have parrots. Answer from your understanding. Just as Shubha Shubh Karma Pad, there are good and bad karmas. Janya Safal Praman, you be understood, or you understood, because the Guru already knew it. Janya, you understood, you got convinced regarding it being fruitful. Safal Praman. Praman means with sufficient proofs you understood. Praman means valid, sufficient proofs. You understood that they are fruitful. Ek rank ne ek roop, jher sudha samjhe nahi. No, many examples, and you understood, right? So, James, just as Shubha Shubh Karma Pad, good and bad karmas, Janya Safal Praman bears fruit for the soul. You understood it with sufficient proofs. Then, similarly, Nivrutti is also Safal. Nivrutti, withdrawing from those good and bad feelings, auspicious and inauspicious feelings, Shubh and Ashubh feelings, retreating from it is also successful, fruitful. You are going to bear consequences of that. And what is the consequences of retreating or withdrawing or restraining or eliminating? Liberation. Mate moksha. So, Shubha Shubh, what do you get? One word. Transmigration. Withdrawing from it, what do you get? One word. Liberation. Answered. Sujan, suddenly he is very loving. Lovingly he is calling the Shishya, oh knowledgeable one, oh intelligent one, oh wise pupil of mine. You are so wise, you got convinced regarding the 4 paths, so you are intelligent. So, oh intelligent one, and then the whole verse. So, short meaning. Just as good and bad karmas are successful, you can use auspicious and inauspicious also. Just as good and bad karmas are fruitful in their way, withdrawing, restraining, retreating, eliminating, cessation of karmas is also fruitful. 5 યાદ લખી દેજો, કોનો નંબર લાગશે આ વખતે ખબર નથી. અને અહીંયા તો મેં એક જ લખ્યું છે, એટલે બાકીના 4 તો તમારી નોટ્સમાંથી જ મળશે. Of karmas is also fruitful, O wise one, there is therefore liberation. Therefore, this state is called liberation. So we can see that the Guru now plumbs the depth of Jain philosophy without using the word Jain, making it as logical as possible. I'm saying as logical as possible, giving sufficient proofs and examples so that you get convinced. So the Guru explains that in the third and the fourth pad, he explained that every deed, every word, every thought carries with it the seed of bondage, seed of karma, seed of bondage, which will grow, ripen, and give its fruits. And by karmas he means both good and bad. We said just as good and bad karmas. So both, but both are karmas. I'll tell you why he used Shubha Shubh in this verse. Till now, Shubha Shubh, वापरो तो कैसे? नहीं. Shubha Shubh Vedya. हाँ, एक बार. But at that time we didn't realize. But here, why he's using Shubha-Shubh, I'll tell you later. In the next verse. The next verse, I'll tell you. Because of a wrong belief, a mistaken belief, a myth in the society that punya leads to moksha. Because of this, he needs to use Shubha-Shubh. Already begun with Shubha-Shubh, and in the next verse also he'll be using Teha Shubha-Shubha Chedata. So, જે તમને આખું પુણ્ય બંધનો ઉલ્લાસ છે ને, ધર્મનો ઉલ્લાસ રાખો, પુણ્યનો નહીં. So, he will be showing that dharma and punya is different, though both are considered good. If you have that feeling of charity, it's a good bhav or a bad bhav? And if you want to stay in the witnessing mode, abide in your true self, it's good or bad? So both are considered good, but both are not same. Punya is punya and dharma is dharma. So that he'll be telling in the next verse, we'll see when we understand the next verse. So both bind. Bind word you liked with bad karmas. So you need to speak out. Good and bad, both bind. Oh. Condemning him to cycle of birth and rebirth. Even good. Favorable situation, good life, happy life, comfortable life, luxurious life. But it will bind you to the cycle of birth and rebirth. Not even saying death, because death પછી શું એમ તમને તકલીફ ન થાય, birth and rebirth. So for rebirth you have to die. It's only a guru who can do without killing you, he can give you a new birth. But when we are studying the karmic philosophy, birth and rebirth, punha janma cannot happen in the same body. But when the guru takes you out from the darkness of mithyatva into the light of samyak darshan, you are going to feel everything new and different. So you will not be able to relate it to your past perception, and you will say, Punha janma thayo, navo janma thayo, rebirth thayo. Are only meeting your guru you will feel this. So imagine when you attain samyak darshan, what are you going to feel? How the guru first shows your flaws, general, then particular, pointing at you, looking at you, hinting at you, only for you. Then how suddenly you first want to defend. Then you realize this is another mistake which is being committed. You understand your contribution of wrongness, if not the whole. If not the whole, if the whole thing is not your mistake, what is your contribution in the whole disturbance? You start realizing. Once you realize, you start going down. Thobda parti j khabar pade. Thobda parti j khabar pade. Very few are humble people who will do like this. Mostly you will find egoistic people. Because khali kaan pakadwa etle it kills your ego in kgs. Kgs. So that's also a difficult job. It's not so easy. Only halukarmi atmas can do that. So first you don't realize, then you realize but you want to defend, second stage. Third, you realize your contribution and what is wrong is wrong. May it be only 0.01%. And why did you do that? So you start going low. Why? Why did I do it? Why did I lose that awareness, etc.? And then it's the guru who will bring you back, make you rejoice. and go ahead with enthusiasm. It's all Guru. Guru is not only for knowledge. Knowledge to एक ज session में पूरू થઈ જાય knowledge. Then you don't need that Guru. You want to learn some instrument, some violin, guitar, sitar. So you take the lessons, and once basics બધું તમને out, then you don't need that teacher. Here you will need Guru till you attain absolute liberation. You will need that inspiration. He is the inspirer of your awareness. Right? His grace, His blessings, you will need every day. This is the minimum I'm saying. Okay. Detour થઈ ગયા આપણે. So, beautifully He's going to explain. While activity is inescapable, inevitable, till you have man, vachan, kaya na yog, activity is inevitable. But there is a method, a manner to perform that activity. If you perform the activity in the right way, devoid of ego and expectations, activity is inevitable. You can't escape from it. But there is a method and a manner to perform. And if you perform it in the right way, you will be devoid. There will be complete annihilation of ego, expectations, attachments, desires. You can battle with your problems and attain complete liberation. Activity is there, attachment is not there. So there is nivrutti from Shubha-Shubha. And that will lead you to complete liberation. So all this will be beautifully be explained in detail in the next pad, 6th, means of liberation, in detail. Here, because means, are pehla liberation to establish karo. Then the question of the means of path of liberation. So it won't be discussed in these 2 verses in detail, but when we'll be studying the 6th pad, it will be very, very clear. Nobody is telling you to just retire from your office. Sadhguru is saying retire from your ego and expectations and attachments and aversions. That is the right nivrutti. You have always used the word nivrutti when you want to stop all your worldly activities. Very good. If that is helpful, please do. But don't think that is the real nivrutti, because that nivrutti might not lead you to liberation. It might lead you to be lazy. Not guaranteed that you will be liberated. But when there is nivrutti from Shubha-Shubha, that will lead you to that state of liberation. Let's turn towards the verse and understand it, the essence. जेम शुभा शुभ कर्म पद जान्या सफल प्रमाण तेम निवृत्ति सफलता. जेम तेम. Just as Shubha Shubh, doing Shubha Shubh, indulging in Shubha Shubh, getting engrossed in Shubha Shubh, कोई भी एक चाल से, even in the quiz. Doing, very simple, doing, involving, engaging, indulging in Shubha Shubh, pure, impure, or you can say Shubha Shubh only, that because I need pure bhav here, so I'm not using pure, impure, I'm using Shubha Shubh only, auspicious and inauspicious. So first he discusses about the basic principle. Every action has some fruit. Every action has some fruit. No action is without a fruit. So the principle is every activity is fruitful. You can recollect the Chapadno Patra. Every activity, your retiring activity is also fruitful. I will call that also activity, not inactivity. Because it's a verb. Retiring, ing. Abiding in the soul. Again, that's an activity. So every activity is fruitful is the principle. Let me prepare you for the quiz. What is the principle which was established in the third and fourth pad, and the Guru taking you into a detailed study of the same principle in the fifth? There you only studied about Shubha-Shubh activity, Shubha-Shubh phal. And now he's going to take us deeper. The withdrawing activity also is fruitful, because every activity is fruitful. So the principle is every activity is fruitful. This principle has been established in the third and fourth, but only in respect to Shubha-Shubh, because we needed only that. With sufficient proof, logic, examples. In this section, we are going to understand the same principle in detail, because that Nivruti word had not come there. Jema Shubha Shubha Karmapad Janya Safal Praman. This was our understanding at the end of the fourth pad. Okay, you do Shubha Shubh, you get Shubha Shubh. Bas. Every activity is fruitful. So the first line is the summary of the third and fourth. And in the next line, only 2 words. Nivrutti Sapalata. And he proves the existence of the state of liberation. Mate. In 2 words, mate. Therefore. After 2 words, he's saying therefore. It was so easy. He only needed 2 words to explain, to make the disciple understand there is liberation. We thought it must be such a difficult, tough, lengthy answer to it, and he just needed 2 words. And he's saying tem means I'm not saying anything extra. This principle was already established, that every activity is fruitful. So the retreating activity is also fruitful. You understand? The indulging activity was fruitful. The retreating, the withdrawing activity is also fruitful. It's over. Now I have to just spend some time in repeating the same thing in different words. Because your ego does not want to accept that liberation is proved. Make it long. Just as doing auspicious and inauspicious karmas leads to it receiving fruits. You do, so you receive. Similarly, fruit of withdrawing also bears fruits. I'm not saying moksha is a result of karmas. I didn't say that. Moksha is a result of elimination of karmas. But to explain moksha, sometimes we do use the word karmas. Sarva karma rahit is moksha. I didn't say it is the result of some karmas. Like punya karma will give you dev lok. Pap karma will give you narak lok. Some different type of karmas will give you moksha. I didn't say that. Withdrawing also has its consequences. In that term, I'm saying fruitful. Some consequences even in withdrawing. Just as efforts of the soul in engaging in auspicious and inauspicious feelings, there I said doing, now I'm saying feelings. So there I meant bodily activity, physical activity. Now I'm going a little deeper. અંદર ને અંદર જ શુભાશુભ ભાવ કર્યા. It's not without fruit. Similarly, soul's effort to eliminate these auspicious and inauspicious feelings also will bear fruit. Fruits ખાલી કર્મના નથી, કર્મ ન કરવાના બી fruits છે. Fruits meaning result, consequences. So just as the soul engages in the auspicious, inauspicious feelings, does auspicious, inauspicious deeds, attains auspicious, inauspicious states of existence, gati. Feelings, doings, attaining states. For all three, Jem Shubhashubh, Jem Shubhashubh, Jem Shubhashubh. Jem Shubhashubh feelings, na fruits. Jem Shubhashubh kriya, activity, na fruits. Jem Shubhashubh na Shubhashubh gati, tem, withdrawing, retreating, refraining, eliminating, cessation. So simple, just as auspicious and inauspicious feelings, deeds, fruit in one word, fruits in one word, transmigration. May it be Devgati, now I'm putting all four in one, transmigration. Because everything is for a limited time. And once that is over, then you go to another state of existence. So all that is called transmigration. So fruit of Shubhashubh is transmigration. And fruit of withdrawing from Shubhashubh, one word, liberation. Yet not explained the exact state of liberation, but liberation is possible, is established in this verse. So feelings of passions like simple likes and dislikes, little difficult, attachment and aversion. They are the causes of karmic bondage. Karmas are bound to the soul. They take to ripen like keri, mango. They take some time to ripen. It matures. It gives fruit, which the soul has to receive. The soul is the receiver. Fruits of karma. So feelings of likes and dislikes, causing bondage, dormant state, ripens, becomes operative, and inflicts results, fruits, which the soul has to receive, because the fourth part says soul is the receiver. Receiver of what he has done and not what someone decides. So if someone has decided to slap you, it is what you had asked for in your past. Because you can only receive what you have done. It's your choice, not that person's choice to slap you. Is it being complicated? Because our drashtiti, with this understanding, if you start seeing, interpreting, observing things around you, you will stay in the state of equanimity. Nobody has a choice to do anything to you. It was your choice and you wished for this in your ignorant state. હનીમૂન પર બધા જ એકવાર બોલ્યા હશો, 7 જન્મ સુધી તું જ મને મળો. That was an utter ignorant state. Very soon you realize કે ન પરણ્યો હોત તો ચાલતે. કંઈ એવું એક્સ્ટ્રા મળ્યું નહીં. અને મળ્યું તો ઘણી બધી responsibilities and expectations which now becomes your duty to fulfill. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. It was not ringer ringer roses. It was saying, I'm giving up, I'm giving up, I'm giving up my freedom. Now everything I have to do which I don't want to do, but that becomes my duty, that becomes my dharma. The soul must definitely receive the fruits of its karmas and only his karmas. કોઈ મને હરી બી ના શકે, કોઈ મને કાંઈ કરી બી ના શકે, unless my karmas are operative. And so through the Guru's solutions to the disciples' doubts, he's got convinced regarding the soul as the doer and the receiver. So in this verse, the Guru tells the disciple that it was evidently understood by you that the soul does bear the fruits of whatever he does. Involving himself also is not wrong, because I said soul is considered Purush in the sense, akha purma, akha kshetrama phelailo. In that sense, Purush. And Purush we use, masculine gender. So I might use the word he, but then her is not. His mate, hers are not out of the whole thing. And I don't want to use the word itself. So I might use the word him, his for the soul. But everyone is a soul. So it was evidently understood by you, this principle was perfectly understood by you, that the soul has any activity of involving in Shubh or Ashubh will bear fruits. So he has to just say similarly, not involving also will bear fruit. Not involving will also bear fruits. 5 words again. Withdrawing from Shubha-Shubh, retreating from Shubha-Shubh bhav, refraining or returning to retreating mahavigyo, eliminating, cessation, destroying, whatever is easy for you. Any 5 things you say will be, if it means this, it will. So, as the soul, see the words I'm using, as the soul eliminates the causes of bondage, he progresses. Why did I use the word as? Jam. Your moksha is not going to be instantly. Right now you understood what is moksha. Moksha is possible, and what is moksha? At the next moment you are in the state of moksha. That's not going to be possible. Why are you saying so? Because the soul has remained in the mithyatva state since. Okay. Since infinite times. Just imagine 30-40 years no apni koi habit hoye. See, if you are writing with left hand or something. Huh? So ketla okay, sorry. Assuming 25 years. Assuming 30 years, 35 years. 35 years ni habit, if you need to change, it's not going to be gradual. I'm not saying it cannot, but it will take time. The progress is going to be gradually. First, you'll get rid of the first cause, mithyatva. Then avirti. Third, say pramad. Then fourth, passions, kashaya. Then fifth, activity of body, mind, etc. So all this is going to be gradual. As you remove one cause, so your involvement in Shubha-Shubh is lesser and lesser. You are going to progress. So you can say, with mithyatva going, partial liberation. Liberation from mithyatva. Why you want to say liberation means that Shila only? That's complete retirement. So it will begin with partial liberation. And so if we say Kripadev is a Muktatma, you have to understand he's not mukt from Deh maybe, from body, but from Mithyatva. Yes. Then whatever your belief is, if you believe he's free from Rag Dvesh also, he's become Vitra, whatever is your belief. So that is also called Mukti. But that is partial Mukti, which will eventually lead you to complete freedom, absolute freedom, which is termed as liberation here. There is liberation, meaning that absolute karma-less state, passion-less state, but I'm not saying it's the same thing. Passionless, it becomes on 13th Gunsthanak, and karma-less at the end of 14th. So we are talking of Shubha Shubh Karma, so let's go with karma-less state. So partial to complete. O seeker, sujan, mate moksha sujan. It can either mean, O seeker, understand this concept well. Sujan. Jan means understand. Sujan, properly. So that you can answer in the quiz at least. Properly understand. Or Sujan means the seeker is Sujan. The seeker is wise. The seeker is knowledgeable. The seeker is intelligent. And when you praise someone, the whole thing goes inside very fast. Understand this well and accept it. Reflect upon what I said and determine that there is liberation, but one, it is possible for the soul to refrain from Shubha-Shubh, and the fruit of it is liberation. Let's sing this verse.
जेम शुभाशुभ कर्म पद जाण्या सफल प्रमाण तेम निवृत्ति सफलता माटे मोक्ष सुजान